Hey guys, welcome to the show. Woohoo! Welcome. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing to be here with you guys. And I tell you what, it's super fantastic to know that you're here with us as well, that you're actually watching us. It feels super, super good. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what's everyone doing this Saturday? Are you chilling at home? Are you eating? Are you hanging out with family members? What exactly are you doing this Saturday? I would love to know. And I tell you what else I would love to know. I would love to know where you're watching us from. What city or state you're watching us from. Yeah? And also, thirdly, the third thing I would love to know is what medium you're using to watch us. Are you watching us live as we broadcast, or you're watching us later on online on YouTube? So here's what you're going to do for me, okay? To answer my questions about what you're doing, where you're watching us from, and what medium you're using to watch us, head on over to the social media platform X and tweet me your answers there, okay? My handle is Ify Otuya. That's Ify Otuya. Ify Otuya. Ify Otuya. Let me know what's happening with you. I'd really love to connect with you guys on a much deeper level, and you commenting or writing to me will actually help facilitate that process. Okay, so that's absolutely amazing. Okay, moving on to introducing our show. You've come to Mind Matters with Ify Otuya. This is the name of our show. We are the #1 mental health program on TV, and that's on period. That's on period. We're the #1 mental health program on TV in Nigeria. Okay, so what makes us #1? We create a safe space to have open, relatable conversations about mental health, and also we promote a culture of mental health literacy. Isn't that nice? That's super fantastic. We're doing a great job. Thanks. I'm patting myself on the back because I know we're doing good, but we're doing good for you. We won't be where we are, we will be nothing absolutely without you guys. So it's a team thing, it's a teamwork. Okay, fantastic. Now moving on to introducing myself, your host for the day. My name is Ify Otuya. I'm a mental health advisor and educator. Super fantastic. I have a degree in psychology from London Metropolitan University in London, and that empowers me to be able to help different kinds of people from all walks of life with their mental health challenges. I'm also the founder of the platform ifyotuya.com. Now, ifyotuya.com provides practical guidance on mental health, basically. So we have resources, free resources in the form of articles, stories, reflections, quotes, etc., all free for you. We also have a masterclass that teaches 10 essential mental health skills. Then we have a workshop that focuses on one particular skill at a time, okay? Practicing and applying that one particular skill. And lastly, we have a mental health advisory session that helps people with mental health challenges to take the next step forward in the right direction. So that's ifyotuya.com in a nutshell. Feel free to check it out at your own convenience. Okay, now moving on to our topic for the day. Guys, our topic for the day is a really interesting one, and it's very simple. It's called Understanding Bipolar Disorder. That's our topic for the day, understanding bipolar disorder. Wow. Now, what do you know about bipolar disorder? In all honesty, I think a lot of people have heard, like the vast majority of us have heard bipolar disorder at one point or the other. Like heck, there are even some celebrities that have bipolar disorder, and they've helped to popularize the term. So people have heard of bipolar disorder, but they don't really know what bipolar disorder is about. They don't know about the symptoms associated with bipolar disorder. They don't know about the treatment options associated with bipolar disorder, the characterizations of bipolar disorder, all of these things. These are the things we're going to be looking at closely today on the show to help us improve our knowledge and awareness of bipolar disorder so that we can stand in the gap for ourselves or in the gap for a loved one who may be dealing with some of these symptoms. Yeah? Okay. Well, speaking of celebrities who have bipolar disorder, you guys know of Kanye West, who was married to Kim Kardashian for a while, a famous couple. He has bipolar disorder, and with him having bipolar disorder, a lot of people in the black community got to know about bipolar disorder. People are asking questions like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's a mental health condition. Oh, okay, it's a mental health this, it's a mental health illness. Oh, okay, so can you recover from it? Or is he doing okay? Can he remarry? Can he live his life again? Can he still perform? Can he fill out concerts? Questions like that. So that helped with bringing bipolar disorder to the forefront of conversations in music community, black community, fashion community, other communities as well. So yeah, we'll definitely be looking at bipolar disorder today, and hopefully your knowledge or awareness of bipolar disorder at the very least will come to a place of maturity. Okay, that's awesome. Now let me quickly let you know what to expect from the show today before I proceed. I'm going to mention the segments to expect. So in a minute, I'll be announcing the theme of the show, of the day, and I'll be defining the theme of the day. Then I'll move on to talk about symptoms and key points to understand when it comes to bipolar disorder. Then our phone lines will open after the commercial break, and you'll be able to call us. Now let me tell you what the phone number is. You can't call right now, but for those who would like to call, here's the phone number so you can start preparing. The phone number is 080-299-383-65. That's 080-299-383-65. That's our phone number today, and you can call us when our phone line opens after the break. Ask me any question, leave us a feedback, share your recovery testimony, whatever the case may be, we got you covered. Okay. Now, after that, we're going to share a story today. Remember I said we promote a culture of mental health literacy. So we'll definitely be sharing mental health literature on the show. It's a story about bipolar disorder, a condition that a young lady found herself in, and what she did to actually climb out of that hole. Then we will discuss a problem and solution as highlighted by the story on this show. Then I'll move on to share my own personal experience with paranoid schizophrenia with you. I struggled with paranoid schizophrenia for 7 years until I overcame that condition. I'll be sharing simple things that I did right to help me overcome that situation, so that I can now live. I could now bring myself to a place of today where I now live free and triumphant. Okay, no longer struggling with paranoid schizophrenia. Then there will be a Q&A where I'll be answering one of the questions that our audience left for us. And then a masterclass giveaway. I'll be talking to you about our masterclass giveaway. We have a giveaway, a free gift that we'll be sharing. So that's going to happen on the show. Then we'll move on to a quote of the day. Reading out a quote of the day and maybe analyzing it a little bit, and then I'll be discussing 4 ways we can help you if you have bipolar disorder symptoms and you're wondering what to do next, or you want to learn mental health skills, or you have mental health challenges in general and you're wondering what to do next. I'll be discussing 4 ways we can help you, and then we'll wrap things up with our closing remarks. Okay, so moving on really quickly, our theme of the day, guys. Our theme of the day is simple. It's bipolar disorder. This is the theme of the day. Now there's a catch to this theme of the day. The theme of the day is attached to a giveaway. You need to know what the theme of the day is. Is it not showing on your screen? It's showing on your screen. Now take that theme of the day, go to X and type it back to me. Tell me what the theme of the day is. I've given you the free awoof. Now all you have to do is go on X, type it back to me, tell me what the theme of the day is. Why do you need to do that, you're asking? Well, it's simple. If you tell me what the theme of the day is, you become eligible to win a ticket worth 70,000 naira. You win that ticket to a masterclass where we'll be teaching 10 essential mental health skills, okay? 10 essential mental health skills. You walk away feeling like a mental health pro. You will learn stress management, emotional regulation, self-awareness, self-care, positive thinking, problem solving, boundary setting, etc., etc. That happens in the masterclass, but you can't receive the free ticket for the masterclass without going on X and typing the answer back to me. So my handle on X, remember guys, is Ify Otuya. That's Ify Otuya. Go on there and type bipolar disorder back to me. That's the theme of the day. Now, what is bipolar disorder? Some of you are wondering. I got you covered. We're here to learn, and I'm here to chat and chat and chat. I love it. Okay, so the theme of the day, bipolar disorder. How do you define that? I'll give you a simple definition. Bipolar disorder is a mental health condition that changes the way a person thinks or feels or behaves, and also interferes with how they navigate everyday life. I'll take that again. Bipolar disorder is a mental health condition that changes the way a person thinks, feels, or behaves, and also interferes with how they navigate everyday life. Now I hear that and immediately I'm thinking that's something that's invasive. It's not just standing at the door knocking, but it's coming to change the way I think. It's coming to change the way I feel, the way I relate with my friends and my loved ones. Maybe in relationships where you used to show up for people and show up for yourself, you don't do that anymore because you have bipolar disorder. It really gets in the way of how you navigate everyday life. And this is the reality of bipolar disorder. That's why we're studying it and we are unpacking and unraveling it today. Now, there are some symptoms and key facts to understand when it comes to bipolar disorder. And I've curated about 12 symptoms and key facts for you guys today. Now, let's quickly go through them. The first one is that bipolar disorder is characterized by episodes of unusually high mood. Okay? This is a key characteristic of bipolar disorder. People who have bipolar disorder, they have unusually high moods and really low moods. How are you high and low at the same time? Excuse me, but this is the truth. You know, they have really high moods called mania or hypomania, and they're so energetic. They feel like they can do anything and everything. They want to take on the world. They are bursting with energy. They are restless. Their eyes are open. They want to do so. They're creatively, they are at the top of their game. They want to do so many things. They can't rest. Sometimes maybe they can't even think straight, but they can't rest. Sometimes they can go on without sleeping for days, which is very detrimental to a person's health. And then after that, they suddenly go from that to feeling very, very low, or they may have a gap in between of relative stability, and then they go into feeling very, very low, a mood known as depression. They're not just like feeling, you know how us humans now, sometimes we feel low. It's normal to feel low. It's part of the human experience. No, I'm talking about an intense feeling of lowness, a depression. Not just I'm feeling low, but an actual depression. They experience that. So bipolar disorder is characterized by episodes of unusually high mood, known as mania or hypomania, feeling overly energetic, euphoric, or unusually irritable. Okay, that's the highness, unusually irritable. Now, the low part, episodes of depression that includes persistent sadness, hopelessness, loss of interest, and low energy. So when they are feeling very low, they express themselves or experience these feelings. Very low energy, hopelessness, loss of interest, and persistent sadness. When they're feeling low, they feel like that. Now, during manic episodes, that's the high episodes, there is a reduced need for sleep without feeling tired. Imagine going on without sleep for a long time and you still are not feeling tired. People should worry about you. Like for days you haven't slept and you still are not feeling tired. There's something wrong with that person. So if you have that kind of symptom, you need to check it out because it might be bipolar disorder. Okay? Also, there's racing thoughts, rapid speech, and increased activity. Sometimes they become very talkative. They're very, very active. They're doing so many things at once. And you're wondering, why can't you just chill? Why can't you just relax? What's wrong with this person? So bipolar disorder is also characterized by impulsive or risky behaviors. In addition to feeling high and feeling low, they have impulsive and risky behaviors such as excessive spending, okay, and reckless decision making. So a lot of people with bipolar disorder, they just feel a need to make decisions recklessly, decisions that they will end up regretting later. So you don't really want that kind of thing to be happening to someone that you love or to yourself, basically. Now, these feelings of highness and lowness are more than just ordinary mood swings. I'm not talking about mood swings here. I'm also not talking about emotional ups and downs. They are more than emotional ups and downs, okay? These are experiences that we all experience, feelings that we all experience, rather, emotional ups and downs. That's okay. But I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about much more intense feelings and much more intense episodes that can last for several days, weeks, or even longer. So it's much more intense and it can last for a very long time. That's the key difference between a person, a sufferer of bipolar disorder, and a normal person. Okay, so stress, sleep disruption, alcohol or substance use can also trigger episodes in some people. In case you are wondering what triggers episodes, what triggers these feelings of highness and lowness, triggers this risky decision making, being energetic and reckless spending, what triggers all these episodes when a person is acting like this? Stress can trigger it. So if you have these symptoms, you want to avoid stress, you want to also avoid sleep deprivation, and then you want to avoid alcohol or substance use, because this can also trigger the episodes. You can't be having bipolar symptoms and be taking substance use. You're not helping yourself. You need to get to see a mental health professional, and you need to get, if you've not been given a diagnosis yet, you need to get a diagnosis. You need to get a personalized treatment plan, and you need to get advice from them. They will definitely tell you that substance use is not good for you and it's not helping you, because it can actually trigger your episodes. Okay, now symptoms vary from person to person. Not everybody experiences exactly the same symptoms. Some people may have highs to a certain degree, and some people may have high moods to an even higher degree, and some people may experience episodes maybe just a few hours or a few days, whereas some other people may experience episodes for weeks. So symptoms vary from person to person, and many people experience periods of stability between symptoms. Now, some of you, or one person there, is probably thinking, I have these symptoms, but I don't think I have bipolar disorder. Why? Because I have periods of stability in between. The fact that you have periods of stability in between episodes does not negate the fact that you might be having bipolar disorder. I'm not saying you should diagnose yourself. That's not the key here. But also, you don't deflect and say that you don't have a condition, because you're not in a place to actually make that proclamation yourself. You need a mental health professional to be able to say that, to make that proclamation about you. Okay, so because you have relative stability between episodes does not mean that you're fine. Because you're thinking, oh, if it's bipolar disorder, it should be consistent now. Why is it taking time off? Why is it not just consistent throughout? It's the nature of the illness. You can have relative calm and stability. You're not moody. You're not experiencing anything. You're not behaving irrational for a long period of time, but you still have the condition, and the episodes may come back. Okay, so early diagnosis and treatment improve outcomes and improve quality of life, helping people to manage symptoms and reduce relapses. So you want to make sure you get early intervention in your situation. The earlier you intervene, the easier it is for you to come out of that illness. For people who leave their illness to deteriorate for a long period of time and to develop long into the future, it's harder to actually bring them back, because they think, oh, I've lived like this for a long time, I've not died, nothing has happened to me, I'm definitely okay, I don't need a psychiatrist or a therapist, I'm fine. They're more prone to making those rationalizations. But when you intervene early, you find that studies show that people actually respond more positively. Okay, so you can help to improve a person's quality of life by intervening early. Now let's look at treatment. Number 9. Treatment may include medication, psychological therapy, education, healthy routines, and support from loved ones. So these are very, very important when it comes to treating bipolar disorder. Education is like top of the list. You need to educate yourself on your symptoms, on what you're going through, on what you're experiencing. And that's why we have this platform, to provide a safe space to actually have conversations and learn and educate ourselves on these different conditions. Okay, Now, number 10, with the right care, people with bipolar disorder can live productive, successful, and fulfilling lives. It's not the end of the tunnel, guys. It's not a death sentence. The fact you have bipolar disorder does not mean you cannot live a successful or fulfilling life in the future. You can. You just need to intervene early in your situation, comply with treatment, and you see yourself soar above the clouds. Now, family members and friends play an important role by helping us to recognize warning signs and helping to encourage treatment. We're going to read a story a little on later on. And in this story, a young lady, Emily, goes through bipolar disorder. And we find that one of the things that brought her out of that situation was her confiding in a trusted friend who responded with empathy. So we don't want people to judge us, but we don't want to keep the whole thing to ourselves. But we want to build support systems where we place trustworthy people in our support systems. It's important to find people you can trust, even if it's not in your family. Maybe a support group, people that are used to this kind of conditions. They're not going to judge you because a lot of them have come out of it themselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? Find someone, find a mental health professional, the psychiatrist you can speak to, a therapist. Tell them this is what I'm experiencing. In addition to them, family members and friends can also play a role, to help us recognize our symptoms and get treatment. Okay, now finally, reducing stigma makes it easier for people to seek help early. This is why we have this platform. We're breaking down the barriers, the walls of stigma, okay? So that people can go out there, get information they need, have conversations, learn, and seek help. Not only seek help, but seek help early. Okay, so reducing stigma goes a long way in helping people with bipolar disorder. What's going to happen now is we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back from the break, I'll be reading a story to you. Our phone lines will also open so you can call us. Don't go away. Hey guys, welcome back. So our phone line is now open. You can now call us. Remember, the number to call, I'll read that out again, is 080-299-38365. Okay, 080-299-38365. You can definitely call us. I would love to hear from you. Okay, so we have a story to share with you guys. Okay, the title of the story is this: Emily's Resilience in the Face of Bipolar Disorder. Let's read the story. In the quaint town of Willowbrook lived a young woman named Emily. She was known for her vivacious personality and creative spirit. Her laughter was infectious, her ideas endless, and her presence often lit up a room. Yet behind her warm smile and artistic brilliance lay a quiet, ongoing struggle with bipolar disorder. Emily's emotions often moved like a pendulum. There were seasons when she felt unstoppable, overflowing with energy, inspiration, and confidence. During these manic phases, she painted vivid masterpieces late into the night, her mind racing faster than her hands could keep up. Friends admired her passion and enthusiasm, often describing her as the life of the party, unaware of the emotional extremes that followed. Now, as time passed, those highs will gradually give way to deep lows. Emily's energy faded, replaced by an overwhelming heaviness she couldn't explain. She withdrew from social gatherings, spending long hours alone, painting with darker, more brooding colors that reflected her inner turmoil. Living with bipolar disorder meant navigating emotional shifts she could not choose and could not simply will away. One of Emily's closest friends, Sarah, began to notice the pattern. She didn't know there was a mental health condition behind it, nor did she have a name for what Emily was experiencing. But she saw the stark contrast, how the same friend who once radiated joy could suddenly retreat into silence and despair. Sarah felt a growing concern, sensing that Emily was carrying something far deeper than ordinary mood changes. Now, determined to be there for her friend, Sarah chose empathy over assumptions. One quiet evening, they sat together on a bench by Willowbrook's lake, the water reflecting the soft hues of the setting sun. Sarah gently reached for Emily's hand. "Emily," she said softly, "I've noticed you've been having some really difficult days. I just want you to know you don't have to go through them alone." Emily hesitated, then exhaled slowly. "It feels like a constant battle inside me," she admitted. "Some days I feel on top of the world, and other days it's like I'm sinking into darkness. I try not to let it show because I don't want to burden anyone." "You are not a burden," Sarah replied firmly. "I may not fully understand what you're going through, but I want to. And I want to support you however I can," Sarah said. Now, encouraged by Sarah's sincerity, Emily began to open up about her experiences, how her thoughts sometimes raced uncontrollably, how her creativity surged during certain periods, and how crushing sadness could follow without warning. It was the first time she spoke openly about the emotional chaos she had been quietly enduring. As Sarah listened, she realized something important. Emily's struggles were not a reflection of weakness or indecision. They were part of a larger, complex reality that Emily was learning to navigate. May God give us friends like Sarah, friends who are understanding and will not judge us but will empathize with us. Let's read on. Now, this moment marked the beginning of understanding bipolar disorder, not just as a diagnosis, but as a deeply human experience that required compassion, patience, and support. Together, they took small but meaningful steps forward. Sarah educated herself, sought out credible resources, and encouraged Emily to seek professional guidance when she felt ready. Slowly, a support system formed. Friends who listened without judgment and offered presence instead of solutions. Don't be quick to give solutions. Sometimes just listen and be present there. Let them know that they can count on you. Now, bipolar disorder did not disappear from Emily's life, but with support, self-awareness, and care, she learned healthier ways to manage its rhythms. Her art evolved, becoming both an expression of pain and a testament to resilience. Her friendship with Sarah deepened, rooted in honesty and unwavering support. Emily's story reminds us that mental health challenges do not define a person's worth, potential, or creativity. They are part of the human experience, one that becomes lighter when met with empathy. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can do for someone is simply to stay, listen, and walk beside them through both their darkest and brightest moments. Now, I have a question for us, which we're going to answer. The question is based on the story, and the question goes thus. How did Emily figure out she was suffering from bipolar disorder? How can you at home listening now figure out that you're suffering from bipolar disorder? How can you at home figure out that your friend, your best friend, or your cousin, or your relative, or that person you know might be struggling with bipolar disorder? Emily's realization that she was suffering from bipolar disorder was a journey. It wasn't instant. It was marked by self-awareness and seeking professional help. At first, she didn't understand why her emotions seemed so unpredictable and intense. But as time went on, certain patterns and symptoms became more apparent to her. Let's look at what she did right that helped her to understand that she was suffering from bipolar disorder. Recognizing mood swings. Emily recognized that she had mood swings. She was open to receiving feedback from others. She didn't just close up to herself and close up the entire world and, become a recluse and withdraw completely socially from everyone and everything. She was open to receiving feedback, and that meant she was open to confiding in other people. She was open to research and self-education. She didn't feel like she knew it all. Oh, I've been like this for like 10 years. How can you tell me I should go and see a psychiatrist? I'm okay, Joe. Leave it like that. It will pass. And you're being destructive. Your health is failing. You're not looking okay. You're looking disheveled, but you still want to continue like that? No. She was open to research and self-education, and that empowered her to stand in the gap for herself. She was also open to seeking professional help. This was another thing that helped her know that she was dealing with bipolar disorder. It helped her to arrive at that bus stop. She was open to seeking professional help, and she did seek professional help. Finally, diagnosis and treatment. She was open to receiving diagnosis and treatment. There's no point going to see a mental health professional and they diagnose you with something and you're like, I don't care, I'm not going to follow through with that. There's no point doing that, is there? Hey, the whole point of going to seek help is that you follow through with that help that is proffered. When they finally proffer help, you don't throw it out the window and say you know better than them. So she was open to diagnosis and treatment. Now, with her diagnosis in hand, Emily and her healthcare team developed a treatment plan tailored to her needs. This plan might have included a combination of therapy, medication, lifestyle adjustments, and support from her family and friends. That's what treatment for bipolar disorder looks like. Now, over time, Emily learned to manage her condition with the help of therapy, coping strategies, and a strong support network. She embraced her journey with self-compassion, understanding that having bipolar disorder didn't diminish her value as a person. Instead, it became a part of her life that she embraced with courage and resilience, okay? And she continued to create beautiful art that expressed the depths of her emotions. Now let's look at the problem and solution as highlighted in this story. Let's discuss that quickly before we take our next break. Now the problem here was that she was experiencing highs and lows. Manic highs, in a way that was detrimental to her well-being and her health. and she was experiencing depressive lows, depression basically. You know, people commit suicide as a result of depression, so it's nothing to smile about. It's a serious recognized mental health condition. And when you have bipolar disorder, which is also a recognized mental health condition, you tend to have that, you know, that depression as well as part of it. So it's a serious condition. It's not something to take lightly. This was the problem with Emily's case, but here's what she did right. She opened up about it. She didn't close up completely, and I want that to encourage you to try and seek help. Open up to a trusted person. And as you open up to a trusted person, it will the ripple effect will be something that will work in your favor. You know, you open up to a trusted person, they recognize your symptoms with you. Both of you study about mental health conditions and the symptoms you're experiencing. You go and see a mental health professional, you share your symptoms with them. They, you know, give you a diagnosis, profile a personalized treatment plan for you. It goes on and on and on and on and on, and it works in your favor. So don't let the fact that what you're experiencing, don't let the fact that there's stigma in society, don't let the fact that there are people you probably should not trust, don't let all of these things stand in the way of you receiving treatment for your condition. Yeah, go out there and get treatment for your condition. Okay, I have a quick question for you before we jet off to the commercial break, and I'm not going to answer this question, but I'm going to leave it with you. And it reads like this: have you ever noticed emotional patterns in someone you care about, or even in yourself, okay, that you didn't fully understand at the time? Emotional patterns that you didn't fully understand at the time. Now, what might change if empathy came before judgment? What might change if empathy came before judgment? I'm leaving that question with you. Feel free to answer it to yourself or to answer it with me. You know where to find me on social media. Let's go on a quick commercial break. Hey, welcome back, guys. I'm still so excited to know that we're here on this show today talking about bipolar disorder. Hey, so we read our story earlier on before we went for the commercial break, and I hope that you enjoyed it and learned one or two things from that story. Now I'm going to share my own personal story with you. Okay, this is a story of how I struggled under paranoid schizophrenia and finally came out of paranoid schizophrenia. Our phone line is still open. You can still call even whilst I'm talking, and I will interrupt what I'm doing and answer the phone call. Okay. Now, my diagnosis came in 2016. I was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia after a series of events led up to that period. We won't go into those series of events because of lack of time, shortage of time. So I was diagnosed in 2016. When I was diagnosed, it was the hardest pill for me to swallow. I just thought, I'm such a vivacious, driven, go-getting person with a wonderful personality, very sort of extroverted personality. How can anybody tell me that I have paranoid schizophrenia? I refused to accept what the doctors had said to me, even though I was forcibly taken to go and meet the doctors because my symptoms had escalated. So because I refused to accept the diagnosis, I also refused to comply with treatment. Okay, the medications that they gave me, I would just throw them away and not even take the medications, even though the medications were kind of expensive. We're buying them, but I wasn't taking them. So because I refused to comply with treatment, I used to relapse. I would relapse again and again and again. I know I'm not the only one. Some of you watching me, I know we are in the same category. We're in the same historical category. So I would relapse again and again. I'll be taken to the hospital again and again. It was a very, very dark time in my life, man. Like, it was a sad place to be. Like, for 7 years, I was going in and out of hospital. I was relapsing. For me, my mindset at the time, I just thought there's nothing wrong with me. Why can't these people just accept that there's nothing wrong with me? Even though I had symptoms of social withdrawal, hallucinations, delusions, so many symptoms, and I would love to share the details, but we don't have time for those. But I definitely did have symptoms at the time. Okay. So after 7 years of struggle now, I finally woke up one day and was sick and tired of the way my life was going, the trajectory of my life. I badly wanted to see a change. Okay, so I said to myself, what if I accept this diagnosis that the doctors are giving me? What's the worst thing that could happen to me? And so I mustered up a lot of courage and said I wanted to see a turning point in my life. I wanted things to change. If I accept diagnosis, I'm not going to die. It's the beginning of the rest of my life. I'm going to write a story where I won't be relapsing again and again, because I was really tired of the relapses. So one of the things, I did 4 things. The first thing I did was I accepted the diagnosis. The second thing I did was to comply. I accepted the treatment, the medications. I complied with the treatment and hospital visits and all of those things. Then I wanted to change my mindset. I wanted to work on my mindset. So I began to research a lot about my condition and other mental health conditions as well. And the more I researched, the more I learned, the more empowered I felt to actually stand in the gap for myself. So I didn't stop there. I also wanted to share that information with other people. So the 4th thing I did was I began to publish articles on mental health conditions and solutions. I began to publish stories, different kinds of stories on different mental health conditions, to help people understand mental health in an easy, convenient, conversational, storytelling way. Okay? Began to publish quotes, reflections, etc., etc. The rest is history, as I birthed my website, which is the website that I shared with you guys early on, that provides practical guidance for mental health. So my life changed since I reached my turning point. I made those decisions. I haven't relapsed. I don't struggle with paranoid schizophrenia anymore. There was a time I reached my turning point and decided to stop taking medications, and I relapsed again. But when I complied with medications, the rest, they say, is history. I changed, I transformed, and hopefully I get to a point where I'm using very tiny or nothing at all, as the case may be. You never know. So some of you who are watching are thinking to yourselves, like, is she serious? Is she for real? Is this something that I can definitely do? I want to leave you with an encouraging insight. No matter the mental health challenge that you are facing, there's definitely a solution to that challenge. I'm not saying go to Babalawo. I'm not saying use unorthodox, measures. I'm saying seek scientific, professional mental health opinion on your condition. And when you seek their opinion and they proffer medication or proffer treatment, comply with the treatment, and the rest is smooth sailing for you. Okay? Now, every now and then people leave questions for us on the website or on social media. One of the questions that was left that I've come here to answer is this. The question reads, how do you keep your bipolar disorder under control? Wow, that's a good question. The moment I read it, I knew we had to answer it on the show. Now let me answer that question. 1, take your medication and adhere to doctor's appointments. I've shared about my own situation where I wasn't taking medication and I was relapsing again and again. Just take your medication. If you react to the medication, tell the doctors and they'll find something suitable for you. And they'll if you keep reacting, keep telling them, and they'll keep changing until they find something that actually works for you. It doesn't make sense for you to be living under reaction, you know, and say that you're managing your mental health. No, that's mismanagement of a person's mental health, because when you react to those substances, the medication that you are taking, it can actually negatively affect your mental health as well, which can exacerbate your condition. So they'll keep working on your situation until they find something that works for you. That's number one. Number two, eat good food regularly. Eat nutrient dense meals, not snacks or junk or all those things, or quick prepare foods, you know, fast foods. I'm talking about nutrient dense meals, okay, that you cook slowly and are packed with nutrients. Eat good food regularly. Stick to regular bedtimes. That's a big one for a lot of us, especially with bipolar disorder, where you're having manic episodes, or you're having little things that can trigger those manic episodes. Try to sleep very well. Stick to regular bedtimes. They can help transform the way that you sleep every day, okay? Exercise regularly. You don't need to go to the gym. 20-30 minutes walk here and there is fine for you. Practice mental health skills. There are 10 essential mental health skills to practice. 1. Stress management, emotional regulation, self-awareness, self-care, boundary setting, resilience building, effective communication, social support, problem solving, positive thinking. These are essential mental health skills that you should practice on a daily basis. Then read mental health resources and grow in awareness and understanding of mental health. Okay, so let's take another break, and when we come back, we'll continue. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We're about wrapping things up, but before we do that, let me quickly remind you about the Masterclass giveaway. Remember, you can go on X and type the theme of the day back to me. The theme of the day is bipolar disorder. Go there, type the theme of the day back to me, and I want to give you a gift for doing that. If you don't want to use the gift, you can transfer the gift to someone else, but I definitely want to give you a gift. I want to give 10 people free tickets to the masterclass. Each ticket is roughly 69,000 naira, which is roughly 70,000 naira. So 10 people, that's about 700k. I'm feeling generous and festive. I want to give something out. So, you know, go over there and holler at me, okay? Now, moving on to our quote of the day. Our quote of the day reads, "The beauty of triumph lies not in the absence of challenges, but in the strength found within, rising above storms." I'll read that again. "The beauty of triumph lies not in the absence of challenges, but in the strength found within, rising above storms." And that's a quote by Ify Otuya. What's this saying to us? Like, life is going to come at you with challenges, okay? And the fact that you see some people that are triumphant does not mean they never had challenges. They actually did have challenges. And what's beautiful about their triumphant lives is the fact that they triumphed over those challenges. They rose above those challenges by tapping into strength within. And that's something that you can definitely do yourself. You can tap into the strength that is found within and rise above storms. Okay, so life will come with challenges, but you are capable. If you're experiencing bipolar symptoms, those are challenges, but you can rise above them. You don't rise above them by trying to do everything yourself. You rise above them by letting people help you, by seeking support, early intervention, mental health professional support. That's something that can definitely help you. If you have malaria, do you try to do it yourself? No, you go to a pharmacy and then you try and get malaria medication. Isn't that what you do? So why is mental health different? I got you there. Okay, so that's the quote of the day. Now, there's something I want to share with you guys, okay? So you guys know for a fact that mental health challenges are quite rampant in society. A lot of people are experiencing mental health challenges. We live in a technologically advancing world, fast-paced world. There are so many demands, high demands on busy professionals in the workplace. So as a result of these factors, people are experiencing mental health challenges. And what's worse, they're experiencing them at an all-time high rate. There's no other time in modern history that mental health challenges have been experienced at the rate, at the level that they are currently being experienced. It's been experienced at an all-time high. Now, as if these weren't bad enough, okay? People who are experiencing mental health challenges are finding themselves stuck with these challenges. No matter what they do, they just can't move forward. They can't get out of that hole. They just stay stuck. You ask me, what do you mean by stuck? Remember I shared my story with you. Like, I'm a living testimony, okay, to the fact that you can be stuck with your mental health challenges. I took New Year's resolutions that this year my mental health will improve. I made vows this year is going to be different. I had great intentions for myself, but I lacked the tools and skills to actually help me move forward. So as a result, I stayed relapsing again and again and again. I was stuck. And many people are like that. They are stuck. Now, what's it like to be in that place? It's debilitating. It's frustrating. It's angering. It's not fun, you know, feeling some type of way about yourself every now and then and feeling like that on an intense level. You know, having mental health challenges is really, really not fun. It sucks. It's angering. It sucks big time. Now, this is why we recommend mental health skills. You don't have to spend money before you start using mental health skills. You can just, Google is your friend, look for mental health skills or talk to somebody who knows about these things. Let them educate you. We do a lot of education ourselves. When you start using mental health skills, do you stop experiencing mental health challenges? Absolutely not. So what changes? You begin to address your challenges with ease and grace. No more strife and frustration. No more stuck. You overcome those challenges because you address them with ease and grace. Now, what's the end result when you use mental health skills? You overcome your challenges, like I said. Your challenges go from an all-time high to an all-time low. You live better and have a happier life. Who doesn't want that for themselves? So use mental health skills, guys. Now, if you are thinking to yourself that you need help with learning mental health skills or applying mental health skills to your life, or you need help with your mental health challenges in general, we're here to help you. There are 4 ways we can actually help you. 4 ways. The first way is by free resources on our website. You can peruse them at your own convenience. We have stories, articles, quotes, reflections, etc., etc. You can read those and empower yourself to stand in the gap for you. We have a mental health skills masterclass where we teach 10 essential mental health skills. In 1 hour, you learn about mental health skills, why they are important, why you should apply them, benefits of using them, and real life examples of those skills, okay? You walk away feeling like a pro. we have a workshop on mental health skills where we teach one particular skill at a time instead of 10 skills, right? So one particular skill, we focus on that and help you to hone that skill in your life. And fourthly, the fourth way we can help you is through our mental health advisory session. Now, the mental health advisory session proffers advice, personalized guidance and support in the form of advice to anyone who has a mental health challenge, to help them see their challenge with clarity of thought and to take the next step forward in the right direction. So these are the 4 ways that we can help you guys, and I'm absolutely here for helping you. Okay, now moving on to our closing remarks. We've come to the end of this 1-hour show and I've loved every moment of it. Now, if you want to read up on that story that we shared earlier, you're welcome to check our website and you will find the story on there. Just Google or search bipolar disorder on the website and you will find the story as one of the search items that will come up, or Emily's bipolar disorder. Okay, if you want to follow our movement, if you want to be part of our work, if you want to contact me, if you want to find out what we're doing, you can find me on social media. I'm on YouTube, I'm on X. The handle is Ify Otuya. I'm also on other platforms, but when you find me on X, you'll find me on the other platforms. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. We've come to the end of the show, and until next time, here's what I have to say. Let's talk openly about mental health. Bye-bye.